Incoming transmission.
Picture this. A recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 16th of May. I'm looking at a Nintendo NES classic, Ice Climber. The two-player game, which is always nice, and basically the idea is to get from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. And you do that by headbutting the blocks, which automatically sort of knocks a chunk out of them with your hammer. You have obviously a lot of enemy characters going across the screen. That bird is a pain in the backside, so you need to smash him with your hammer as well. Very simple controls. One does jump and the other one actually does a hammer smash as well. So you've got to try and get up the levels as quickly as you can. And there doesn't seem to be any sort of penalty if you don't get up there at a quick time. Collision is a little bit wonky sometimes. Sometimes you'll think you'll have gone onto a ledge and in fact you'll have missed it completely. So you've got to be careful with that. As you can see there, actually got to go through the platform. But you know what? This is so cutesy. And being a Nintendo original as well, it's always nice. So the bonus stage is that you've got to basically pick up the fruits or whatever it is that you've got there. You gain height by jumping on the clouds and the platforms to try and get up to the top before the time runs out, and that can happen so easily, ladies and gentlemen. Really can. But there we go. Never mind. You see, our little ice climber is upset. But yes, this is a two-player. As far as I remember, it's a simultaneous two-player as well. So one of you takes the control of the blue ice climber, and the other will take the control of the pink ice climber. And you can work cooperatively. Now, there's a bit of a strange thing here, where you get to those poor seals. You kind of club them to death, which is a little bit nasty. But they don't die, of course. They just waddle off a bit stunned, but still. For today's standards, it's a little bit dubious. But you can see there, they make platforms with little shards of ice as well, which is quite nice. But yeah, the idea is to get to the top of the screen and progress that way. Controls are nice. Excuse that, if you could hear that. There's I think the Ducati has started to ride down the street. Do apologise for any external noise. I have a bit of a good microphone here, so it does pick up external noise sometimes. So if you didn't hear that, great, it's done its job of noise cancelling. But if you did, I do apologise. Okay, so the controls, very tight, work very nicely. The controls are responsive. The only thing, like I said, is the collision detection on the platforms can sometimes be a little off. Just when you think you've hit a platform, you'll plummet to your doom. That's probably my only sort of criticism with it, really. It's a nice game. The sound's nice as well. Nice jolly little ditties and sound effects, as you'd expect from the NES anyway. Animations are smooth. Colours are lovely. I love the colours on the Nintendo. They're always very vibrant, and I mean, this is obviously one of the sort of cartoony style games that you're going to play on the NES, but it did a good job of doing this style of game. It really did, and that bird just pecked me right up the backside, and I fall to my doom. So there. Right, this next section here, I think has, yeah, this sort of sand effect here will either propel you forwards or backwards, and you've got to basically compensate for that in your movement, because it will either help or hinder you. So you've got to figure out which is best for you and how to combat it. Other than that, the game is absolutely brilliant. I love this game. It's really simplistic, but then a lot of the Nintendo originals were, the classics I should say, a lot of them re-released on the Game Boy and the old GBA systems as well, the flip screen ones that you could buy. They actually released a NES classic version of that as well, which was great. I actually had one of those, still got it somewhere. And they re-released all of these on the NES classic GBA, which was really, really nice. You can still get those today at a reasonable price. I did really well on there, didn't collect a single thing, so yay. But Ice Climber, it's really quite one of those little simplistic games that will keep you coming back and coming back and coming back. At least that's the idea. But again, you know, sometimes simplicity works incredibly well. He pecked me on the other side of my body. I'm not going into details. But yes, it's one of those games that works because it's so simple, and it would work for a majority of player base ages and experience levels as well. So it's open to a lot of different abilities and age groups and all that sort of thing, which I like, because I don't think games should be restrictive unless there's a proper reason for them to be. There are games out there that are was supposedly designed for a majority of players, but is far too difficult for the younger player. You could start this game as a young player, probably in about, I would say, 5 upwards, and be able to actually have a decent playable experience and have fun with the game and not get too frustrated. In typical Nintendo fashion with this sort of game, they've made the difficulty scale, so it starts off easy and then goes up to be a bit more difficult as you progress through the game. I like that style. I think it should be applied to a lot more games as well. There are too many games out there that look pretty but far too hard, or far too easy even, and then there's games that look rubbish but are far too hard. So there needs to be that sort of in between, and I think Ice Climber hits it really quite well. So very, very happy with this game. It's great fun to play, and I hope you guys will give it a go. That's about all I've got time for today, unfortunately, but I will be back again by the end of the week with a brand new review. I look forward to bringing that to you, and yeah, that's about it from me, guys. Thanks for tuning in as always, and I'll catch you next time. Keep it retro. Bye for now.